everybody, and welcome back to Have You Seen This? It's the only show on the Northern Entertainment Group that is exclusively hosted by Canadians and only talking about television. We leave the movies and the schmodown and the wrestling and we do a lot of other things. All of those shows, we leave them at the door. We're here to talk about television shows and occasionally reality television, and that's what we're here to do tonight. And I am joined by Snark as always. We've got Dave in the back, he'll be here later. We've got guest. This is going to be a fun episode. How's it going tonight, Rob?
It's going good. You're Canadian?
Yeah, I hate to spring this on you now, but yeah.
Well, that's weird. Everything is going fine. It's still winter in Winnipeg, and it's never ever gonna ever stop being winter here. Because just as soon as you think, oh, it's getting a little bit warmer, look, snow's kind of melting. Tomorrow with wind chills, minus 30 below, yet again in the middle of friggin' March.
We literally keep flitting back and forth between freezing rain and like +3. So everything freezes and then melts and then freezes and then melts. You're either walking in a puddle or slipping all over the damn place.
I'd like to see Survivor come up here, do a season in the winter in Manitoba, for Christ's sakes.
16 people enter, 4 people live.
Yeah. There's a snowmobile coming, you guys, in 3 weeks. Good luck. They just carve out the carpet.
We'll eventually clean the road.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah. But first, we are going to be talking about some Survivor, but and this is going to be a little bit of a special show. We're going to save any like what are we watching segments until towards the end, just in case this runs a little bit long once we get into the Survivor parts. And but we start every show with at least some news. Most of the time it's just a new trailer, but you know, every now and then there is some actual TV news. And this actually happened before last week's episode, but it slipped under my radar until literally like the Wednesday morning after. Okay. But the anime streaming services, Crunchyroll and Funimation, have been operating for years and years, independent of one another. And recently, Crunchyroll made a bid that was then like confirmed and everything. Funimation and is rolling into the Crunchyroll service. This is interesting in a lot of ways. It means that a lot of anime distribution in North America will be under one banner, which makes it a lot easier for, you know, certain voice actors especially who have representation with Crunchyroll will be afforded better opportunities, because now you don't have to pick between the companies, you pick between roles, you know?
So it's Funimation and I'm not, you know, totally oblivious. I've seen some things from Crunchyroll. I've done another podcast and they did about anime, so I know some things about Crunchyroll. Now, did Funimation and Crunchyroll have totally different things? Was it like Netflix and Amazon, say, for anime style programming?
Exactly. Okay. And originally, I'm not sure if both of them started out this way, but they both started as like actual dubbing networks. Okay. And so what they would do is, way back in the day, anime rights were very cheap to purchase, because translating them and then redoing all of the voices was actually difficult work and required like a lot of man hours, even if it wasn't like the same amount that would be put into like actual animation and things like that. Mm-hmm. And yeah, so at least one of these companies started way back in the day I know a vague amount of this. A lot of those Vox Machina people from the D&D show that I've been talking about,
Oh, sure.
they're all voice actors. A lot of them came up working for one of these two companies.
Okay.
And yes, originally it was all about dubbing the anime, getting the distribution rights, and then trying to find a television network that would air it for a while. And then eventually they start, developing their own things and developing their own like cast of voice actors, their own rosters. Eventually there's exclusivities, and nowadays it is much more like an Amazon or a Netflix.
So you'll see a lot of the same guys that would say dub on Attack on Titan. They would also do something else like Food Wars, maybe, or whatever, as long as it's done in the Crunchyroll family.
Yes. And now we are seeing everything will be done in the Crunchyroll family.
Right.
Because it was made official last week. It was still a little bit up in the air for a while, kind of Hulu and Disney. What are they going to do, right?
Yeah.
But it's official that Funimation will be ceasing operations. Anything that comes out later this year will still have the Funimation tag, but anything developed from this point forward will be Crunchyroll exclusive. All subscribers of Funimation are getting 2 months of Crunchyroll free. All titles are moving over to that platform. Funimation will eventually be shut down.
And
Again,
prices go up.
There are some good news and some bad news on that front as well.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily the price going up, because Crunchyroll is already more expensive than Funimation.
Right.
So the people who were with Funimation, yes, the price is going up for them. But like my sub was with Crunchyroll, so I didn't see an increase, and I'm not sure if and when I will see one.
Mm-hmm. So here's a question. So
Yeah.
I prefer watching the original with subtitles.
Mhm.
When did they start figuring out? Oh, we can just do this, and we can probably save money on having people dub it, or will they just dub everything anyways? Just because they have the talent there.
They will likely dub it anyway. A great thing about dubbing is you're not getting freaking Jason Mantzoukas. Like you don't need freaking John DiMaggio to dub anime. A lot of people who do anime dubbing and voiceovers, are people breaking into the industry.
Yeah.
So while
sometimes you can tell. Sometimes you can tell that, though.
Yes. And like while I kind of flip back and forth, it really depends on specific voices is how I make my decisions when watching animes.
Okay.
But like I have no problem watching the subs, and but I do think that dubbing anime accessibility is a good thing.
Yeah.
And also it just does give an opportunity to those people who, like, I'd rather that goofiness happen in an anime that, like, isn't going to be plastered all over the world, rather than it being in like a AAA video game, or like people got to develop their skills somewhere, and this is a very rather cheap and rather fun way for them to do it, honestly.
Is there an anime that you prefer dubbed rather than when reading subtitles?
It's hard to say prefer.
Mm-hmm.
I did watch a lot of Naruto in English, mostly because I really did not like his voice in Japanese. I did not like the voice of the main character. And so I ended up watching a lot of that one in English, even though his actual lines are twice as annoying in English. It was just, there was something about the voice that really got me.
Yeah.
But in that vein, Death Note is an amazing one to watch in English or Japanese.
Think
It's so strange. It's actually put up on lists as one of the best dubbed animes,
is
and
that
it gets lower on the list just because it's so good in Japanese as well.
the one that's about the about the rich guy with the butler? Is that Death Note?
No, that's the one where the student finds the book that lets him kill people if he writes their name in it,
Wow.
and he uses that to start killing criminals all over the world, and eventually becomes kind of like a god to a lot of people.
Oh, that's handy.
And yeah, and then it's about him and a detective kind of locked in battle with each other for 25 episodes. Then
Why
there are 15 that
why
we
don't you
don't
just
talk
write the
about.
detective's name down? This is this is over. Here you go. Detective's name. Done. Just go like this.
Yeah, yeah. It's literally the detective doesn't have a name. He was
What?
grown.
That's
He was raised in a secret facility to be Batman.
oh my god.
No, like just detective version of Batman. And
So, wait a second. Batman's the fourth greatest detective.
yeah, yes, but I bet he doesn't fight. L can't fight.
Oh.
He's got a scrawny.
Oh my god.
All right, but we do have confirmation that we have all our guests ready. We have anything else that you have to mention on the anime merger there?
No.
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 It means there's only yeah. Basically, what it means for you is there's only one place you could possibly need to go when someone forces you to watch an anime.
There's still some on Netflix and Amazon. If I really, really want to watch something, I can
Yeah.
already watch on something I already got.
All right, but yes, and I did have a couple of other random news things, but I do kind of, want to get into this really really fun draft idea that we have. So
Okay.
who do you want to bring in first?
Well, why don't we bring in
The new guy?
let's bring in the new guy. Let's give him a couple minutes. The other guy's in a whole bunch of shit anyway.
All right. So, from the Squared Slice on our network as well, and new to this show, and honestly, haven't been on a lot of different shows with this guy, but I find myself cracking up most of the time when I'm watching him. We've got Dustin.
Not much. What's up? How's it going, boys?
It's going great. Nice to see you again.
Yeah, speaking of Squared Slice, I'm sorry for the color, but WWE NXT is on right now, and they're very colorful. So it's illuminating my background in purples and blues this whole time as I watch off to the side in the current hotel room that I'm sitting in. So thanks for having me, boys. I'm excited.
Sure.
I didn't know that I got pumped when I heard that there was Survivor to talk about. So I'm thrilled.
Now, I'm hearing something that we may have brought in a kind of a ringer here. We hear that you may have a little more survival knowledge than well, definitely more than Daniel, but let's get real. Now, you've been following Survivor, I'm going to guess, from the beginning then?
Yep. I watched the first few seasons when it was on. My mom was huge into it, and then I was pretty young at the time, so I ignored it. But when it first got on Hulu like 10 years ago,
okay,
I remember my wife and I moved into our very first apartment, and we were, bored. And I was like, hey, have you ever watched Survivor before? Because there's like 29 seasons on Hulu. Let's watch them. And I threw on the first season, and we watched all of them. And now we're pretty into it. I mean, we even did our own draft for Survivor season 40 for the Winners at War. We did our own draft amongst each other. We bet each other. We had a point system and everything. She beat me because she picked all the new people, and I lost. I picked Tony, so I never really got at least the winner. But other than that, I got destroyed in that draft. But yeah,
this one you only have to pick the winner. You only have to pick the winner.
That's what I said. I'm like, I picked the winner. That's much better. But she beat me in every other category. So
guys, we're not adding this up. whoever's the last man standing wins.
All right. I was going to ask you
damn
that. I went in this a little dark. I'm like, is there points or anything? Or are we just picking the winner? Is that what we're going for?
Yep.
Yeah.
We're gonna get 4 chances at picking. One in 16 chance. Well, even though there's 18 players, I guess 2 are gonna go to the audience here.
Cool.
The leftovers, or the audience gets a chance. So basically, the audience is probably gonna beat me.
Oh,
yeah. And most definitely will be Daniel. But we'll see. We'll see
Daniel,
what
they
happens.
have no faith in you for this. What is wrong with them? What is wrong with Snark?
I've never seen an entire episode of Survivor. I'm kind of familiar with it because we did a fantasy Schmodown Survivor show last year or 2 years ago on our channel, and I just watched an improv comedy version of Survivor last week. So
man, you are set, Daniel. I don't know what else you need other than that.
Again, I know the game modes. I don't know any of these people.
They were eating grubs and ballooning.
Yeah.
So Snart, well, I have to ask because I'm the new guy. I don't know if this is how much this has been talked about. So where's your love of Survivor on this? Or is this just a out of nowhere thing?
No, well, of course, when that first season came on, it was a fucking phenomenon. Like, there was nothing like it. It was as big of a television event as there had been in years and years and years. So we watched. I remember seeing the first couple episodes and liking it. It was on. I want to say it was on like Wednesday nights or Thursday nights. I can't remember. But I remember having to miss a couple episodes. And I wasn't taping because, I didn't have, you couldn't tape off or whatever. And I didn't have the VCR to record it or whatever. So I had to get caught up and stuff like that again. But I started watching again. So I got those first 2 where they just kicked the 2 old people out right away. And then I started to get it after I came back and after there was a couple episodes. So when it looked like, I'm so bad with names, but there was, when it starts setting up that the good guys are, everything's falling in place. And then all of a sudden they're gone. One's gone. Then the girl's gone. And then the doctor's gone. And Jervis is still and Jervis is gone. So it's like, okay, now I get it. And then there was nothing like I'd never thought about putting together an alliance. I'd never, you never heard of that before. That all came from then. Sue Hawk destroying
crazy Sue Hawk.
Yeah, destroying. Oh God, what's her name? The one who came in second.
Yeah, she was on
the
Second Chances season. I can't remember her name either.
Yeah, God damn it. Anyways, and then when they announced Richard as the winner, you're like, what the fuck is this? Honestly, you're like, what the fuck?
Kelly Wigglesworth. There you go.
God damn.
Did Richard Snark, and you might be the good question to ask, is Richard winning might have saved that show.
100%.
Honestly,
yes.
It was such a huge moment that the villain beat the good girl.
Couldn't believe it. Could not believe it. Like, Kelly should have been counting her money and stuff like that. And just, well, if this can happen, then what the fuck? Anytime this can be different. This could be different every time. So, yeah.
That's what makes the show so frustrating at the same time.
Yeah.
It's like the most fun, exciting show that can get you so pissed off at the same time. That's why it's great.
Now the reason why I'm still into it is just because it's one of the only shows my wife will watch with me. So
that's true. We get excited. I know I was telling you boys, but once when we got Paramount Plus, they had the 6 seasons of Survivor Australia that we'd only heard things about. We blasted through those, and we finished them right before they got pulled off that streaming service.
Like 40.
Wow.
They're way too long. Don't get me started. I could critique that show. All these people that love it. I love the old school part of it, but it's too long and it needs an editor. But it's a great time. But yeah, I don't know. There's something about this show. I don't know what it is. It just, even when it's bad, it's still good bad. That's why it's good.
And yes, speaking of,
there's another guy. I'm sorry. I mean,
yes, I was going to say that first season came out in, I believe, the year 2000.
2000.
And so definitely was watching the first season on the first night as it aired. Was a 5-year-old producer Dave.
Hello. I actually I was not watching the first season live. My first season was the 9th season, Vanuatu.
Ooh.
And I was only able to watch that. And the reason I kept with Survivor for so long until I fell in love with it was on Thursday nights back then. And Thursday night was the night I got to stay up late because my parents would let me watch Survivor with them. But yeah,
that was playoff hockey for me.
And then
Vanuatu, was that Rupert's first season?
No, that was Pearl Islands.
Islands. Yeah.
Vanuatu was the season right after All Stars, where they divided between men and women again, with like Scout and Twyla and Chris and Chad. He was the amputee.
Yeah, that was the Sandra season, wasn't it?
No, that's Pearl Islands as well.
That's Pearl Islands too.
Yeah.
So I watched every season multiple times. My wife and I also watch Survivor all the time, and she jumped on back on David versus Goliath was the first season she watched with me.
That's a good season to start.
Solid season. And then in the off season of Survivor, I finally convinced her, you got to get yourself educated. So we went back and we started this year in between season 41 and now. We were going to go back and watch a bunch of the old seasons. So we watched all the way up through All Stars, and then we took a break for Big Brother and Survivor now that they're back on.
Does she have a favorite season so far?
So far, her favorite season. One second, I'm chronicling these.
So while you find that, I will mention that I just realized I'm not drafting against 3 people. I'm drafting against 6, but sure.
Her favorite was Pearl Islands, mostly because she had seen Winners at War and Islands of the Idols, and she's like, "Oh, I know Sandra. I know her. I love her."
Islands of the Idols.
She loved Pearl. She loved Pearl Islands. And to be fair, that's a great season. Daniel,
Pearl Islands is great.
If you only have to watch one season, Daniel, go back, watch Pearl Islands, then you'll watch the rest of them because you'll fall in love.
Pearl Islands is a great start.
It's pirate themed.
Yeah. Mine
the hardest
China.
one.
China's my favorite season.
Love China.
The one I think to watch is Africa, just because they put those people through hell.
They did.
It's a difficult watch. It's entertaining, and there's great players, and there's lots of fun things that happen. It's just those guys went through fucking shit.
Doesn't Big Tom lose like 75 pounds on that season or something?
Incredible.
It's like something abnormal.
39 days.
Not to mention
pounds a day.
Not to mention that was the season where they had to have like armed guards around the play area because they're like, if you leave this area, you will get mauled by a lion.
Yeah.
Okay. Do not leave this area.
Yep.
And now they just stay in Fiji forever, and they have to keep coming up with weird.
It's the same beach.
Same beach.
That's why they can't burn down the forest anymore. Everyone they said it was for environmental reasons, but it's because 6 months from now we got to get new contestants on these beaches.
Mm-hmm.
Can't be burning the forest down every 6 months.
No, can't do that.
They don't grow that fast.
The Fijian government would be pissed.
Fuck them, I say.
What is Survivor? Survivor.
I'll answer this. Survivor.
Are we sure Survivor isn't the Fijian government at this point?
Truly.
Well,
Taco. Survivor is Greedo versus Hammerhead in a shootout. That's it. Greedo versus Hammerhead. And also, it's hosted by Snaggletooth. That's it.
How dare you? Jeff is nearly...
I'm so lost.
He's like 65 years old, and he looks great.
He's starting to show it a little bit.
Yeah, well, he's 65.
This last season
He's
coming out
barely
of COVID,
a day over 1,000. Cut him a break.
My wife this last season,
Hammerhead.
every time Jeff showed up on the TV, she's like, "Okay, Jeff's getting me." So who shoots first?
Hammerhead shoots first. Greedo never shoots first.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it doesn't matter who shoots first. It's about who's wearing an immunity idol, and bullets don't hurt them.
They each get shot. Who is the last to die?
But we have a long draft to do. So who's excited about Survivor 42? Daniel, I know you're pumped. You're going to be watching every day to see how your draft picks are doing.
100%.
By every day, I mean once a week.
Yeah,
Premieres tomorrow.
Yeah.
Hey, I could just watch, 7 different seasons all at once, and then I could watch an episode every day.
Fair.
Okay. What robots do. I'm always excited when it starts. I was not a big fan of season 41. I just when I get to go ahead.
You are you can't say that.
You're a Canadian.
We just had a Canadian winner. How
Yeah,
dare
I know.
you?
I was happy with the winner. I was happy with the winner. Like, yeah. I was happy with how it ended. The actual season itself, and too many twists and too much shit going on, blah blah blah. I just like, I'd like it a little more bare bones, like, twists or whatever. And there's too many idols being played these days. I'd like to cut all that kind of crap out too, and just have it be special when somebody gets it, not when everybody on every tribe has a chance of getting it. So who gives a shit about that?
Fair.
But hang on. I have to take that back. She's from Toronto. That doesn't count.
What the fuck?
How dare you? Erica is a queen. Or where she's from. And 3 Canadians on this season.
Mm-hmm.
That's one more than last year. 5 years from now, we'll have Tribe of Canadians versus Tribe of Americans.
Mm-hmm. And it's going to take place in Victoria or
the World Cup of Survivor.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
So, Daniel, do you want to explain what we're going to be doing today?
Yeah, sure. I absolutely know what we're going to be doing. Okay. So yes, we've got 18 contestants. We're going to be going through a snake draft format. I titled this episode "Survival of the Fittest," so I thought it was only fitting that our draft order be determined by the height of our contestants.
No boy.
So, yes, Dave will be going first. I will be going last. I believe our middle 2 contestants are the same height. And if I heard you correctly, Rob, you are offering the second pick to Dustin?
Yeah, of course. He probably has longer legs, I said.
If only.
All torso.
And,
all right. And yes, we're just trying to pick the winner. Whoever wins this draft will literally only be determined weeks from now. But we're going to have fun. We're going to go through these contestants. We'll talk about them a little bit as they're being picked. And you guys can kind of fill me in on who these people are if you know anything about them.
No deal.
Now, may I, last minute, I did not discuss this with HR or clear it with Dan and Snark, or Dustin for that matter. May I suggest stakes for this? All right. Obviously, we're not going to know the winner for 10 weeks or whatever it is. How many episodes are in a Survivor
16.
Season? Well, is it 6? It's not 16 episodes.
Yeah, it is.
There's no the final. No.
Yeah. You
is.
eliminate 15. You're left with 3. The last one, everybody
the final
votes on
episode-
3.
The final episode's 5 people.
I think you're at 14 with the reunion, I think. So it's 14 episodes, and then there's like an episode with the reunion usually.
Okay. Regardless.
So give or take.
2.5 months. Sorry, that's not math at all. I was told there would be no math. 3 months from now, we'll have a winner. And that will be long enough, I think, that we will need to do another book club or another watch along or something. So I'm proposing the winner of this draft, and Dustin, you're welcome to come back for that episode if you want, gets to subject the losers to doing a book club of their choice.
Ooh.
Oh,
I like
that
it.
actually does sound kind of cool.
Very good.
That's a deal.
Again, did not clear this with anybody. Literally thought of it right now, and I'm excited that everyone's excited for it.
Let's take it up with the producer.
Let's do it.
All right.
Yeah,
Dave,
let's ask our producer.
all right, I'll check the back.
Mm-hmm. He finally got Courtship.
Yeah, he's good with it. He turns
Okay,
out he's
cool,
fine.
cool, awesome.
Perfect.
Also, for everyone, I do have images of the contestants to bring up. This is Daniel Strunk, So as they get drafted, I'll bring up their names.
More like Daniel Hunk. What?
Oh my gosh. Someone got a crush. His first Survivor crush.
Oh my god.
Oh my God.
Fuck. I don't even know how to proceed from there. So we're gonna be doing a snake draft. So me, Dustin, Rob, Daniel, Rob, Dustin, me, and so forth. And 2 people will be left over. So if the audience wins, I don't know, the show gets canceled.
Oh, shit.
No, the audience gets to pick our watch along. Relax, Dave.
We could be 10 weeks away from extinction
It could be
on the show.
all right.
Yes. But I do think, like, much like we're sticking stakes on our picks, we let the audience subject us to a watch-along club if one of these last 2 people wins.
Agreed.
Mine too.
Which is going to be extra good because Daniel going on vibes. So, like, the best players could sneak through.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I won 4 Super Bowl bets in a row going on vibes. So
That's pretty good.
I literally,
You're a witch.
yeah. For 4 years, I watched 1 game a year. It was the Super Bowl, and I just picked one of the 2 people in it.
Oh, my God. You're the worst.
I'm
All right, everybody ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
ready.
Do it.
All right. So with the first pick of the draft, I am, and I apologize, I've only seen these names written. I have not heard them yet, so I apologize if I mispronounce anyone's names. But I'm going with Omar Zahir, I believe his name is.
Mhm.
Omar is 31 years old, which is a great age to be playing this game. He looks like relatively to have a normal body shape. He's not like super built, but he's also not super skinny. And, you know, that's something you need. He's also a veterinarian, so he's got a real job, which is also always important. I think a lot of the winners we see know who they are, and that really helps propel them to the win. He's also from Whitby, Ontario. So, like, that's not exactly my neck of the woods, but it's from around where I am, and I like that. But I also really like, in an article that I brought up, that I sent to everybody, it listed some pet peeves in there. Jim Grunters and Joey from Friends were some of his pet peeves, and I loved that. I was like, what a great answer. What a great answer.
How you doing?
Also, like, almost all of these people seem to be like, saying you're a super fan seems to be the bare minimum to get cast on these shows now. So, like, I don't take too much of that, but he had some really good answers about how his strategy. I like that he mentioned Tyson Apostle, who's my favorite winner, in there. Well, we'll talk, Dustin. And I just really like Omar.
Very good.
Look at that smile also.
Yeah. My top ranked male player.
Was he?
Yeah.
I think he was my 3rd ranked male player.
Very
Oh
So
my God.
Oh,
I'm so glad.
interesting.
Legitimately thought about leaving Omar for someone else because I was like, maybe he'll slip back to me.
He would not.
But no, now
he
I'm
No.
I would have taken him if Snark wouldn't have.
Yeah.
Well, Dustin, you actually have the pick over Snark, so you would have picked it.
Yeah, this was a worse pick. I'd almost rather Snark went ahead of me.
Going first and second is not good in a snake draft.
I know. First and second kind of stinks in this because I don't know who I want to. It's such a big shot in the dark. I think I'm going to go with Marianne.
Fuck.
Damn it.
I'm a big fan. I thought her interviews, I thought, were, in the videos I watched, were the best. I thought I liked her answers to the questions. I thought that, you know what, the one thing I did focus on was their choice of who their favorite player was. And I got more attracted to the people who didn't say the big names. Like Boston Rob, Sandra, Tony. She picked Davey, a new player who's extremely good and underrated in his season of knowing everything that was going on and being this really good all-around player. So that's what she says she's going to do. And when she was saying her attributes, like she's a listener, she's nice, she wants to integrate, that's Davey. And Davey was really good in that season. He just got caught up at the end. Yeah. So I think she's my go-to. I think she's my number one overall pick for sure.
Another good thing about her is when you're saying Davy and stuff like that, and it's fresh in her head, maybe it means that she hasn't watched a whole bunch of seasons.
Right.
And like when it came down to it, if I was to choose between a newbie and a super fan, I'm always going to pick the newbie.
Me
The
too.
super fans are going to be in their own fucking heads the entire goddamn game. Am I doing this right? What would this guy do? Instead of just playing. You just gotta fucking play.
I don't know how you can say that after seeing people like Adam Klein out there, man. Like that's the biggest Survivor nerd, and he won unanimously.
There was a bunch of nerds out there that season and stuff like that too. He had a good story though as well. You guys have the story.
I want to say one thing. I know this is going to take a while, but I want to agree with Snark on that. I do like the non-hardcore. Actually, I dropped a few people way to the bottom of my list. The ones that couldn't stop talking about Survivor and every question they talked about. Yeah. That was a huge red flag for me.
It's the same. It's
like you're two in your head. Stop it.
Yeah, but Big Brother has the same problem. As soon as they get like a huge super fan in, and all they can think about is the game, you're done. Yeah, you gotta mix. You gotta not give a shit about the game and just play it.
Yep.
Now, Dustin, I will say, should have point of order. You actually aren't allowed to draft Marianne because she's Canadian, and there's 3 Canadians on this
I know.
show, so we were all supposed to get one. But,
sorry.
You know, the only other one just lives in Canada. She isn't Canadian.
Well, you know,
if it makes you feel better, I had no idea she was from Canada.
From Ajax.
Yeah. It's my wife's neck.
Ajax. Totally know where that is.
No,
it's okay. Nobody knows where that is.
I know where that is.
Yeah. Think about Toronto. Yeah, it's right there.
Yeah. Good pick. Buck.
Okay. I did not want to do too deep a dive. I didn't write down much of what anybody did, anything like that. I just looked at pictures. I looked at ages, and I looked at body types. Who's going to be able to withstand? Well, now it's only 26 days, but there's less food. Who's going to be able to withstand that and still be half decently active, and more importantly, will be able to get along with 17 other players for that long and not wanting them gone. So I don't have much written about her, but she happened to be the first picture that was out there, and I said, "Oh, she's going to win." So I picked Chanel.
Fuck. That was
she looks like she's athletic, but not small. She isn't all super muscularly. Her body isn't going to want constant protein, so she could be able to stand 3 days with minimal amounts of food and still be able to be active. And just seem like a pleasant person. Seemed like she has her head on straight. So yeah, Chanel was an easy pick at number 1, even foregoing the Canadians. I had her as my number 1 pick overall.
I was about to pick the same thing based on one single characteristic.
Mm-hmm.
Her pet peeve being slow walkers. And I was like, this is 100% my pick.
See, I also wanted Chanel. And in addition to saying, like, what winner do you most admire? And, like, saying Kim Spradlin. Like, I always like seeing people say Kim. Because, you know, obviously Kim's amazing, but her job as a corporate recruiter,
that's another thing.
Really drew me to her, because like that's just like you're going out, you're selling yourself to people to get them to want to be with you as in the corporate setting, and that's all making an alliance is.
Yeah.
I'm
pretty proud of myself.
And there is Chanel.
And yes, speaking of pet peeves, sadly, Daniel Strunk has a pretty awful one that I'm not sure I can really go along with.
Wow.
His pet peeve being oatmeal raisin cookies masquerading as chocolate chip cookies. I'm an oatmeal cookie stan. I love raisin cookies. I think they're better than chocolate chips.
Whoa.
I know that's a wrong take. It's a personal one.
How dare you? Can I throw out an honest story quick, Daniel?
Absolutely.
Today, the reason why I'm in a hotel is because I'm at a work conference for my job. And midway through the conference, they brought out trays of cookies. And on the trays, this is no joke, which is why it's funny you bring this up. All the trays had plastic coverings on them. I went for a tray that looked like chocolate chip cookies. I opened it and it smelled like oatmeal. And I immediately put the top back on and did not eat any of them because I knew they were amazing. And I went for a different cookie. That literally happened today. Yep.
But
So,
yes.
get rid of Dan. He's gone.
Fire this
Oh my god, that's it for him.
But yeah, speaking of my pick, though, I will have to go with not quite a Canadian, but an honorary one.
Oh boy.
And gotta represent the 514, Montreal. Drea Wheeler.
Yep, my second overall.
Man, yeah, she was up there for me too.
Yeah. I mean, fitness consultant, that's a solid job. It's one of those ones that, like, I'm not sure if it's a real one or a fake one. But it's like, it's a solid enough one. It's a real person's job, whether or not the job is real or not. I think, yeah, looking through a lot of these, that seemed like a very well-rounded profile that I was looking at, and I felt a lot stronger about her than most of the other picks. Now I am also looking around. Oh, I think I know who I want. I just need to find him.
Yeah, while you're looking,
Yes.
just like I also really liked Drea. This was one person who I all cards on the table. I did a lot of research for this. I take drafting very seriously.
Oh my god. All right.
And it wasn't, her bio didn't jump out to me, but hearing her, and some of this was just actually the questions, but the way she said it, because a lot of this was just transcribed stuff, the way she was talking really gave me the idea that she is going to be a leader in her tribe. And in the old days, that would have been a negative thing. But these days, especially with these smaller tribe formats that they'll be on, because this season there's going to be 3 tribes of 6, the leader type is more likely to just get a coalition early and run that tribe. And Drea really seems like the kind of person who's going to be able to do that.
Yeah.
I agree.
Oh my god, I can't find the guy.
That's okay. Just skip your turn.
Whoever. Just
There we go.
Just pick Jeff.
Yeah,
I found him.
okay.
Oh no.
Pick Romeo.
I'm going to the worst place in the world for this next pick.
What
Got to head to Hoboken, New Jersey.
Wow. Hot take
To
on
find-
Hoboken.
It's New Jersey. Yeah, my next pick, I'm not sure if it's a little bit off the board. The guy seems a little bit on the older side at 58, but I really like retired firefighter.
Yeah.
I think people see that. That's a fucking hero up there. So my pick is Mike Turner.
Oh, that, yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you. I had him dead fucking last.
Yeah, he was in my bottom 5. I have
This is my bottom 3.
I have 3 columns. I have need to get, want to get, and avoid. He was in my avoid.
Yeah. Yeah. There's and firefighters have traditionally done well, even older firefighters.
Yeah.
But at 58 years old and a guy that big, I just don't see it. I see him flaming out very, very fast. I see him getting angrier and stuff like that too. Just because of the need for food, there just isn't going to be enough food for him. And I could see it being a point of contention for him and his tribe for sure.
And I watched the interviews, and I know we won an old school season, but being the one old school guy in a new school season doesn't seem like it's the route to go.
Yeah.
Well, there's also like a major age difference between him and the next oldest person. So I just worry about, is he going to be able to relate? And unlike Drea, who I think will be able to be a leader, when you read his questions or you hear him speak, he comes off a little more abrasive, and I think that just comes from an old school mentality. I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with that in the real world, but in Survivor, especially when you're playing with some people like what's her name, Swafi, I think her name is Swati, who is 19 years old, and then a bunch of 20-year-olds. I think coming off that abrasive could rub people the wrong way. Just this last season, we saw Abraham, who was the older ex-military guy, go home first for that exact reason.
Yeah, being the older person in Survivor in the last 5-7 years has not been great.
Well, Heather just got
the older male.
Yeah.
But Daniel, good pick.
Oh no, he's gonna win.
So far, he has as good a chance as we all think, or we all have. So who knows? But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Like, I haven't watched any interviews or anything like that yet, so I'm going into this thing pretty clean. So I could be dead wrong about everything. I'm just going 100% by looks and a quick blurb that I read. Speaking of which, God damn it! How did this guy drop to me? Probably the winner of the season, guys. Right here. Like, if you guys want to call it off after this, you can. This is a guy with a body built for Survivor. This guy,
You're insane.
This guy has the dad bod. Yeah, he looks like he's good enough that he can win some strength things. He's not going to be too hungry all the time. The body can eat some of the fat off of himself. You know,
What's a body?
Oh yeah. Roxroy, the pride of Las Vegas, Nevada.
I like Roxroy.
I love Roxroy.
Yeah,
he was one of my top 5 people.
I literally just threw him out based on the weirdest description ever.
Okay, what's the description?
Well, he doesn't like to be in the limelight, and he's the first to tell you that.
This is even better. This is even better.
Then he's got a career in environmental consulting, but he lives in Las Vegas, one of the worst places for the environment ever. And I'm just like, what is this person?
There's worse. They don't have much industry in Las Vegas. There's a lot of cigarette smoke.
Yeah, he's a stay-at-home dad.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He seems...
He is the prototype. He is the prototype.
I don't know how this is going to come across, but when I read his stuff and I listen to some interviews with him, he seems like the most normal person to ever be on this fucking show.
Yeah.
Like, not a weird guy at all. He doesn't have any weird quirks. He's just like a normal guy.
Perfect.
I do have to read this one because it's the what is something we would never know from looking at you. And okay, one of them is I'm Jamaican, but the other 3 are all wild. It's I'm an environmental scientist, which you can't tell by looking at a person. Then I've been to over 20 countries, and I love watching golf. And I'm like, all 3 of those facts are insane.
I think it's a great choice, Snark.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's
that
even
was
better. Like, I was hoping he was gonna say, like when he was saying, "Oh, these things are fucked up." Like, number 2, I'm a child killer. I kill children. It's like, oh, I don't know if it's gonna work. But everything, like, oh my God. So he can be patient. Oh my God, he loves. Oh my God. So
what also got me about Roxroy was when asking what winner he liked most, saying John Cochran and looking at this guy, you're like, Cochran. So Daniel, for some advice, for Cochran came in as like a very
He's the guy who lost and won his second one, right?
Yeah, and he came in like very shy, meek the first time, just kind of got rolled over by some alphas. And then the second time was just able to, and to be fair, fans versus favorite 2. Not the best cast.
Not the best.
No.
He
But
manipulated the shit out of that.
He was able to just like play everyone like puppets.
Oh,
it was
so easy.
Insane. He was so good. Shame that they couldn't get him for Winners at War.
Yeah.
But like he was great. But looking at Roxroy, that's not a guy that you think, yeah, John Cochran, that's who he's gonna like.
No.
So great pick, Snark. I really thought I'd get him in the second round. Look at
When
Roxroy. Look at that smile.
One of my favorites. Right here.
He's set.
Oh,
All right.
I'm running out of my first rounders here.
So I am strategically picking this next one because I don't believe you're going to pick I have 3 left that I really want. And I just know you're not going to pick both of my other 2 because they fit the same type. And we all know how Survivor works. You can't do that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with the 3rd pick I have because I just don't want you to take her. So if you're looking for a lady, I'm going to go Lindsay. I like Lindsay a lot.
Okay.
She's a balanced player in her interviews. She's a fan, but not too hardcore. She's outgoing. Her favorite player is Lauren. She reminded me of Lauren before she said it.
Yeah.
Lauren is one of my favorites in the last probably 10 seasons. I think she can do it. I think there's another chance for another female winner here. I'm going into both these seasons thinking there's a female winner. I went into Erica's season believing there was going to be one. Yeah. I'm going into this one thinking the same thing. So that's why I stacked 2 females already, and I think she's going to be good. I think she's the attractive one who's smart enough to go with it. I think it's good.
I had her just after my top half.
Yeah.
Just the reason being she's very fit.
Shit.
She's not necessarily I'm also picking her based off my draft position.
Yeah, for sure.
And I knew that there's no way that I thought he might take her in the next 2, and I knew I'd never get back around to her. So
that was a great pick.
Yeah.
Because that's not who I would have picked next. I'm still trying to figure that out. So if we can keep talking about Lindsay. She is who I would have picked 3rd, though.
See, I just didn't think she would make it back around to me.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to wait, but I think it's a good pick. I just think, again, like Snark said, she's fit. Hey, we all know in Survivor, being attractive, if you can get past them first 2 rounds, doesn't hurt you in this game.
If you get dragged to the finish, you still make it to the finish, and then you never know what's going to happen.
You never know what's going to happen. Exactly. I mean, look at
also,
Erica.
Who's to say that she just doesn't fucking kick ass in competitions and fucking she has to drag someone else? So
exactly.
You never know. You don't know.
She seems like one of these people. We talk about body types and stuff, and more Survivor, especially in the COVID era, there's a lot of stand in this one place, very perfectly still balanced.
Yep.
And some of her hobbies, like flag football and stuff, can sometimes be a lot more cardio inducing than regular football because you're just running, trying to get flags for too long.
Yep.
So seeing that from her, I was like, I feel like she's going to be able to do those ones that are really about their breathing pretty well. And that was a great pick. And you really, oh man, fuck, because I don't get another pick until last after I pick.
Yeah,
these
you better make these next 2 count.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So I know who I'm gonna pick next, and it is where is he on here? It is High.
That's not a bad one.
He is someone who came off both very even kiltered in his interview, but also he fits a different type of person than the types that have been winning, the male winners that have been winning recently. When you look at people like Tony and Tommy and Chris Underwood, these are all like massive jacked guys. He's a little bit on the shorter side. He looks in good shape, but he's not built. He talks a lot about family values, and he also, if I read it correctly, he was also someone who he is a graduate student, so he's going to be able to do well in those mental comps that come up near the end. He seemed very affable, and I liked the words that he used to describe himself. Aggressive is something that I think you have to have a lot of self-awareness to put in for one of your 3 words. Mm-hmm. And knowing that that's how you are coming in, I think is a big advantage because you're able to downplay that a little more. But also in these smaller tribes, being aggressive is not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you can be aggressive to a point. I would just, with aggressive players, it's always better to wait 2-3 weeks. Everyone's got it's best. I always feel go to sleep for the first few weeks.
I totally
Why put something on your head that soon? It's like aggressive players out of the blocks. It's hard to stay aggressive the entire time. You have to pick your spot.
I think that's a very old school mentality of thinking. I think when you look back at the last few winners, with the exception of Chris, who got voted out 4th and was able to come back and win at the end. Yeah. The winners we've had for the last 10 years before Erica were, and they haven't seen Survivor 41 yet. So they don't know that Erica won.
Right.
They haven't seen that style.
Right. Because they were.
They've all been these aggressive winners who started day one, put their foot on the gas, and did not stop until they were done. And so I'm just hoping that will come out from High. I also he seems kind of like what Dustin was saying. He seems like a fan, but just enough of a fan that he knows the game well enough, because being a fan and knowing the rules, if the 4 of us played, the 3 of us would all understand these are the idols. This is how a vote split works. This is this. And Daniel would be like, wait a minute, I should be going to look for idols?
Actually, that's the only shit I do know about Survivor.
You have no etiquette about it. It's like, guys, one idol hunting.
But just
give me literally just the game of Mafia that is played within Survivor, and I might be real damn good at it. But
Daniel's gonna be that guy you sit at home and you're yelling at the TV. You're like, this person doesn't know what they're doing. Then magically there's a purple rope on the ground, and they uncover an idol, and you're like, I don't want this person to have an idol. They don't know what they're doing.
But really, the whole time, I've just been like, yes, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm making sure I have less votes than the most.
Perfect.
Just winning by 1 vote in every elimination. That's how I win my season of Survivor.
You should have this picked by now.
I'm between 2, and it's more, do I think this person will get back to me? Because we're not picking all 18. We're picking 16, and there'll be 2 left over. So there's a chance he could get back to me. But I don't
I'm not sure if you want to let him slip.
I don't know, because I'm
put a counter on this guy.
Snark, I got it. I am going to take.
He could just JTE that. He picks the one he knows, and he just starts the next clock.
I'm gonna take. Well, no, I picked High. That was my one. I'm gonna pick Jonathan. I hate that pick. Why did I pick Jonathan? I'm picking Jonathan.
Well.
No. He has no chance.
I panicked.
Which one's Jonathan?
Yes, he was my second to last person.
No, he's
no chance.
No, he's
his favorite player is Ozzy. When you say that,
no, that's a bad pick. My thought process is though, Jonathan is easily the biggest guy on this season.
By a mile.
It's literally him. Oh, I should probably bring up a picture of him. I also think the picture of him with his arms outstretched make his arms look so long.
Yeah, he's a monster.
I saw who his idol in life is for this one, Dustin.
Yeah.
You would know him. His idol in life is Lex Luger.
Oh man, that's a terrible choice.
Yeah. Okay.
That is a horrible choice.
Here's the thing. Jonathan is a bad choice. But I think the person who I didn't pick will get back to me. Now, let me say why I did pick Jonathan.
All right.
It goes back to the small tribe format.
Mm-hmm.
He is easily the biggest guy on this season. And the tribal immunities are so physical that you don't want to get yourself into a Matt Singh position where you get down to 2 people and now you don't have a tribe anymore. Yeah, I know Denise won that season, but that's generally not going to happen. Jonathan, I think, is someone who he will get absorbed into the bigger alliance. I do not think he will be a strong contender, but he does have some reality TV experience because he was on the TV show Endurance, which is a children's version of Survivor.
You were talking about this show before.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone was talking about endurance before.
I
I'd
was.
never heard of it.
It was like early 2000s. It was like teams of two, one boy, one girl, like 14, 15, 16-year-olds. They would play challenges, and then the last two people to win the challenge would go to tribal council, and one of them would get voted off. It was a whole thing. It was not a great show, but he was on it. No, yeah, there was bug eating actually. But he has some experience in that, and he said that playing that game made him fall in love with Survivor. And he's 29, which is a really good age to be playing Survivor at. I think he's going to be social enough. I think he's going to get absorbed into the big alliance, and maybe he just wins all the immunities to the end.
Maybe
Terrible
I'm a
pick.
Chinese jet pilot.
There's Jonathan again. Look at those arms.
Yeah, this guy's going to need immunity in the very first lopsided vote. Like, anytime you're sitting there thinking I might have to play him in the next challenge. No.
But I think that gets him to the merge at least, and then maybe he can win out.
Yes. I do kind of agree with that. I think but he has to establish something immediately, or that team is just gonna
he's gonna need
like
friends.
If he seems too flip-floppy, everyone's just gonna cut him loose.
Yeah, he's gonna need friends for sure. He's gonna need a rock solid alliance. Yeah, I don't see him being the one to set it up.
I think also
he might be near the bottom.
I think also him being, as Dustin said, they don't give these people food anymore. And him saying that I think being a provider is coming back into the meta strategy. And him saying he knows how to spearfish, if they get that spear from one of the early challenges, I think they just need him early on.
That'd be his only hope. That'd be his only hope.
Now,
he
also
has to be the provider for sure, but you have to be social while you do it.
I think he's got a chance.
Okay.
All right, Dustin.
We'll see.
Dustin, tell me who I should have picked.
So that you should have picked. This is what I was hoping. I thought you were going to snake him. I'm going against what me and Snark said at the beginning. I need my one super fan. It's also time for this type of person to win again. The Adams, the Todds, the Cochrans. I'm taking Zach.
I just wrote down while you started talking.
Yeah.
42-year-old student.
Yep.
Todd's his favorite player. Todd is, to me, one of the most underrated winners of the entire show. That guy destroyed China in an awesome season. And I'm like, he's smart. He overthinks the game. And again, that's not my type of player. But if you look at it, every 5 years, 6 years, this nerdy, scrawny, younger guy comes along and wins the game because they just know how to figure it out. And if he can win some immunities when it needs to, and he can make the merge, I think that's his big fear. I think he might, because of who he is. I think he's really hard to hide his personality based on what I saw. I think people will also look at him that way, and I think it's very possible he's one of the first 3 people voted out. But if he's not, and he can put up a few wins and some fans, I think he has a chance to go all the way.
I've just been noticing these younger guys making it further and further and further. You wouldn't imagine that these guys would be around and, getting to the final tribal council and stuff like that, but they just seem to fucking make it all the time. For sure. I wrote this little note down before. I don't know if you can read it, but it said Adam Klein vibes about him. Just a little arrow of this guy. It's I get it for sure.
And can I say though, I think so. The reason I took so long on my first pick was it was between Zach and High for me. And I went Zach I went High over Zach because I think, first of all, I didn't pick both of them because I think I wanted to diversify my picks.
Sure.
And second, Zach, you're right. Zach's given me Adam Klein vibes. And I think that's the problem.
It is.
You can't get away with get away with just us seeing that. I think everyone on this cast sees that as well. I think, and Adam, it's not like Adam played forever ago. Adam played 3 years ago, and then he just played in Winners at War. He is still very top of mind. Yeah. So I think never mind. So I think Zach could easily get snipped by being too social or too strategic right at the beginning.
Sure.
You know, and the one thing I will say, and the reason why I chose him is because, and I'm assuming this guy will get chosen at some point, but Daniel and him, the only thing about it was, to me, is Daniel seemed like even more of the nerdy, overly hyped super fan. Like, I actually thought he was more like on that extreme than Zach was. So I just chose the one that I felt was less out there and abrasive about it, to be honest with
And
you.
just going off vibes, I thought High was the worst one of those three in that regard, because like most of his profile reads like it's already a competition, and like I mean, a lot of great accomplishments, but they're all like he's dropping them all with the age and the this and the like every accomplishment needs 7 different credentials to go along with it, and I thought that was way harder than anyone else's profile here.
See, I think we're not talking about High. We're talking about Zach, and I really think Zach is, if he can survive those first 2 votes, I think he'll do really well.
Yeah, I think that's the trick. And well, it all depends on what kind of tribe he's in, who's on the tribe with him. I don't know. Let's see what his social game is like. He's going to be a younger person out there, but there's some others that are close in age with him and stuff like that. I don't know if he can. If they're probably going to spread them out through the tribe, so we'll see. It's those first few weeks are going to be critical for him, but if he gets by those first few weeks,
that's where I'm at. I think
a real tough out.
He's boom or bust. That's my draft pick. I think he, like you said, I could see if like his tribe loses and has to go to tribal council episode 1, I could see him being the goner.
Boy. Snark bringing up tribe breakdowns.
I was just going to say, we should see tribe breakdowns, but I almost don't want to see them now because we're midway through the draft. We should almost
All right, sorry. I looked it up.
No, you're fine. No, I'm thinking about it too, but I'm like, if you bring them up now, that might influence later.
I won't show it
at the end.
But I'm going to say,
I think
Zach might be in some trouble.
Dave only has 1 more pick left, so his picks can't be terribly influenced by that.
Well, Dan, I'm afraid your picks are going to be influenced.
Yes, and I literally...
That's why I'm not showing.
Yeah, I don't know enough, but I'm the one also saying we should not show it.
I'm just going to say this right now. So in the tribe breakdowns, it has like their like glamour photo or like a photo that they got from Facebook or something. Roxroy's picture is a black box and then the word Roxroy.
Roxroy.
Fucking right. Yeah.
I think you might have to...
Yeah. All right. Okay.
A fucking man.
All right. There's Zach again. Look at him.
Yeah.
He's almost a doppelganger.
I am kind of curious whose pick it is and who's left.
Snark. If you want to see who's left, I can bring up people's tribes so far.
Sure.
Yeah, so you can see that. I've got Omar, High, and John. Wow, I've got a real sausage fest.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say all men.
Okay. And then
you got the Dustin tribe and the Snark tribe mixed up here, pal.
So it is me.
I do have them mixed up. Sorry. No, it's on Snark. I have Dustin and Snark backwards here. But yeah, Rob currently has Chanel and Roxroy. Then Dustin has, even though these are backwards here, he's got Marianne,
Lindsay,
and Zach.
Yeah.
And then you have Drea and Nick. So remaining, we have Maria, Tori, Romeo, Lydia, Jackson, and Daniel Strunk.
Swaddle as
and
well.
Swati.
Right?
Oh, and Swati. Sorry. Yeah. Ooh, do I not have Swati loaded in here?
Oh, boy.
I do. I found her.
Okay.
All right. Snark, we're waiting in anticipation.
Guys.
Don't be a Dave.
Guys.
Make your pick.
So I wrote down my order, who I wanted from 1 to 18. The top 5 have gone. I got 2, including my 1 and 5. The number 6 name I wrote down what's an important job to have going into Survivor, you say? I say being in the food service industry, particularly serving. Because no matter what, you have to be friendly or else you don't get tipped. You just have to be, you have to know how to talk to people, any different people, all the time. The fact that this pick is also only 22 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
This pick isn't, doesn't have like the super fit body, not doesn't look out of shape at all, just not the super fit body. Gives me a little bit of Aubrey vibes, a little bit.
Mm.
I went with Lydia for my pick.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The person you can't kick out right away. And she just needs to make it. All she needs to do is make it to the end.
She's a perfect player to make it halfway through the game.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
That
There's-
was such a good insult.
No, it's true. There's a type that makes it that
Yeah.
way. Being quiet, being just kind of there, but understanding people. If you, like a Snark said, no offense, you sit around for a while and don't make waves, you can make it a little while.
Yeah.
I
don't see her winning many goddamn competitions and stuff like that. Who knows? Maybe balancing. Maybe we can always pull out one of those. But I don't see her being a hindrance. But it doesn't say if any of these people can't swim or anything. That'll always set you back. But
that's always bad.
yeah, but no one ever says swimmer. No, yes. That should be one of the things that's on the bio or whatever. So we can.
I mean, I will admit, Lindsay, who I drafted, did say that she taught herself how to make fire, and she wasn't going to tell anybody she knew how. So
That's big.
Well, they only need her to do it once.
I can't believe.
true.
Maybe.
Go ahead,
I can't
Daniel.
believe there's still like 4 people I might consider.
Well,
Now,
that's good.
Lydia, my problem with Lydia, I had her higher until Big Brother Canada started, and I started seeing ads for Survivor.
Okay.
And she is in those ads a bit. And generally, they have been showing the first boot in the ads a lot more.
Well, they only really want to show stuff from that first episode.
Yeah.
I should watch commercials.
She
Yeah,
also
that first episode is so telling when it comes to the ads.
She also in that one of her confessionals is I've never been camping except at music festivals. I don't even like the outdoors.
That should be fine.
So
That's fine.
I don't know. Like
It's just like a music festival.
you were saying, she was giving you Aubrey vibes. She gave me a lot more David Wright vibes.
Oh, that's fine too.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing. I think David Wright's a very specific person to be able to survive.
Yeah.
He was also on the chopping block every week. And if he didn't have Ken stumping for him, he was gone.
I was just going to say he had some big men on his tribe too. To
Yeah.
help.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. This is just, I think this is just that one type. It never seems to win, but always seems to go a little further than you expect. So maybe this is the one to sneak under the radar here and actually get to the finish. We'll see.
Now, to be fair, she was higher on
Still
my
has
list.
to beat Roxford anyways, or Roxford anyways, so it's probably not going to happen. Roxford is winning this.
She was
Roxford-
higher on my
Actually,
draft
no.
than Jonathan was. I just panicked and picked Jonathan.
Yeah, but
I'm still mad. Why did I pick Jonathan? What a terrible pick. Here's Lydia again. Daniel, with your last 2 picks, this is
Yes.
will be your entire team.
yes.
There are still
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people left on the board.
So yes, I don't want to say that I'm gonna take the slightly better pick that Rob didn't just make.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Also a people person, somebody who needs to know how to talk to and react to people, and also middle child of 5 kids, competitive. Trust me, I'm the middle of 7.
Oh my.
I'm going to take the 25-year-old therapist, Tori.
Oh,
Yuck.
yeah, she was
Hobbies
my.
enjoy CrossFit, board games, and hanging out with her giant ass family. I think all of those things can be very good in a competitive and physical space.
Would have been my next pick.
She was my dead last pick.
Okay. I just like I think
pretty
therapists
low on
really
me.
well, but yeah, we'll see.
I
Go ahead.
I think you might have saw the same interview I did, but did you see some of her stuff, like of her talking to the camera?
My God, she talks
No.
so much.
She talks
Oh,
so
oh,
much,
really?
and she's goofy, and like, but too goofy. Goofy's one thing, but when you don't shut up and you're too goofy, that was my first thought. I'm like, Fabio won once. It doesn't happen again.
Never again.
Yeah.
Never again. And
Daniel.
that's all I felt. I was like, she can't win. Nobody's going to give her $1 million.
Yeah. Also, we're talking about being a therapist. Therapists generally don't do very well on these shows. I think because unless you're Denise, but
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
but she also had a very specific
Younger
circumstance.
Yeah.
But because unless you're agreeing to be, as someone who works in the mental health industry,
Oh boy.
unless you're agreeing that to sit down with a therapist, nobody wants to talk to a therapist. And people are very aware of when you are psychoanalyzing them. And when she says, I'm going to try to be this person with this person and this person with this person, it's like, that just sounds like you're going to come off as fake.
Mm-hmm.
So I am really concerned about how Tori's going to do.
The only thing I think about therapists is that they're paid to listen. I think listening is a good trait to have in Survivor. It's not much more than talking. If you talk more than you listen, it's not great. But I haven't seen what this girl's like yet. Though.
I'll send you some interviews.
Oh boy.
But here's Tori.
And then oh
man,
the last one is very difficult because I like a couple of these things.
It's tough. Your last pick.
Damn. Okay. I will say now that I do think the two people with COVID in their bios are I'm not sure. It seems like such a coin flip. Like, is that going to be a big thing, or is everyone gonna hate it? But yes, I guess I'm going with brains and bronze. National Guard. Let's go with Swati.
Okay.
Not a bad pick. Where is she?
No, not a very middle of the road pick. Surprise.
Yeah,
I have the oldest and the youngest contestants.
Yeah. I don't think it's a bad pick.
No, I was on the fence about who I would have picked, and she was one, and then there was another one or whatever, so it just made my pick a little clearer. But for sure, I think it's a good pick.
She was the person.
That's the only thing really going against her.
When I panicked and picked Jonathan, she was the person I thought might slip back to me.
Right.
I've been looking at Swati the whole time. I just wasn't sure which pick I was using on her.
I think
so. You weren't getting her last for sure.
She's a really good pick. I like she's an Ivy League student, and she also literally, like, the week they went out to play was the week she finished basic training for the National Guard.
Yeah.
Peak physical condition.
Peak physical condition.
But get fed.
My only issue with Swati was it goes back to why I picked Omar first. She is 19 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And because she's been in school and COVID and now the National Guard and stuff like that, it's like, has she interacted with enough people in real life? Does she have enough life experience to know who she is on the island? And also, will the age thing play a factor? She's so young.
So young.
Yeah, that's the thing that kept going in my head. It's just the age, so young.
And it's like, but the thing is like we've said a few times in this draft, right? Survivor always wants the new winner.
Mm-hmm.
And they yet, 42 seasons in, have yet to get that super young winner.
Yeah, another contestant
like
that was born after the show first aired. And
19 years old, like the super, super young, fresh face, youngest on this season. From what I know, I feel like I could be missing someone. But
Yeah,
I think that's it. 19, right?
Todd was probably the youngest person on his season because he was 22.
Todd was pretty young.
Yeah.
And that was the big stick with Todd, is everybody couldn't believe it.
You know what? Courtney was definitely younger than he was.
What wasn't? Yeah. See, like, but that's like a thing. I don't know. That's a stat I'd have to look up. But usually, I don't recall off the top of my head a winner that was like so young.
I can't think.
22 is pretty young for Todd.
20, but I mean, 19. She's a teenager.
Yeah, like I'm not.
They don't have a teenage winner. That's for sure.
No, like I can only think of a couple teams off the top of my head.
Well, that's it.
Will was Eric, and yeah, none of them won, but yeah.
That's trope that Survivor loves checking their trope out. They love getting the new winner.
For
a fourth pick, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah,
that's a great pick for the last pick.
Yeah. All right, Stark, don't take my last person.
Well, looking at who's left, I think I may be like, do I need? It's down to two things. Do I take the story, or do I take just the big dude?
Don't do the one. One of them's a bad choice.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Daniel.
Okay.
Daniel's
I'm gonna take the cancer survivor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But super nerd, man. I just so you know, Stark, there's a video where he's like
Marshall Erickson.
Yeah, he takes like he has like a 3-page document that he hand wrote about the brains versus brawn 7-5 vote, and he wrote a whole law around it, and he showed it, and I went, okay, no.
To be fair, this was the last pick, and considering who else is left, I think
I get it.
He's probably and when it comes to watching Survivor, for some reason, I always tend to start liking the people who are supposed to be the bad guys.
Yeah.
It's never like on purpose. It's just I usually like the bad guys and stuff like that. I can find someone like that, like Daniel here, could probably be fucking annoying to me within the first 2 weeks of the show. So I may not be cheering for him to win until he's like in the last 3 or something. Then I'll cheer for him.
I will say that. I was gonna say, based off this like list of people, I think he's gonna be one of the most entertaining people on the show.
Well, let's hope so. That's all we can hope for something like this. Let's hope entertaining. Well, they're all entertaining. I hope there's no dead fish out there, but we'll see.
I do like he doesn't use 3 words to describe himself. He only uses 2 according to this article I'm reading. But he uses ebullient.
What?
I don't even know what ebullient means, but like cool.
Oh my gosh. All right.
He lives in New Haven and he's just okay with that.
Oh my god.
What a square.
attacking New Jersey, attacking Connecticut.
So ebullient, or
just the little ones.
Ebullient means one of 2 things: either cheerful and full of energy, or
just like
boiling water.
I think it's the second one. He's very boiling.
Very boiling.
I really like Daniel. I think he was really interesting. I think he is a law clerk, which is another one of those jobs that I think is really good for Survivor. He's also, I don't know though, he comes off it's weird when like he name checks Fabio in his players who he thinks he's going to. And Daniel, for context, Fabio, there was a challenge where they all had to get into the same swimming pool at one point, and Fabio just hung out in there for a little bit longer before the next group went, and they're like, "Oh, I'm peeing." It's like, and everybody, and this man won $1 million. Yeah. And everyone was pissed. But the fact that he name drops Fabio, I like that. But then he also does Yule and Todd, which are great players. I think he has a certain look about him where people are going to automatically assume he's going to be Weasley.
Yep.
And those people, first impressions are going to be really important for Daniel, like our Daniel.
Yeah, I wonder. Actually, I kind of wonder what he's like on camera. I do fully agree with what you're saying based on the still image I have of him.
I can't
But then,
remember.
like, I could really see that literally Marshall Erickson vibe coming off when he's actually being the goofy guy, the really goofy big guy on
Look at him.
camera. Like he
Look at
that's Ted Mosby's best friend.
him.
He looks like him.
Yeah, he does. That's an interesting pick.
All right. Well,
Rob,
No,
who
no.
you gonna let slip?
yeah, this is gonna be terrible.
Maybe the most important pick of the entire draft.
This is
Right
gonna
now.
be rough. So these last four are not four that I necessarily wanted to draft, but I guess that's how it's gonna go.
Well, there's one in here that I'm
I
actually.
think there's one that sticks out more than the other three, and I'm gonna take Jenny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ooh,
you know why?
Mm.
And this isn't super nerdy, but Survivor Australia, one of the winners, was a mom, was a nice lady, played it up, had the family, was just a nice lady, wanted to provide. That's what she speaks about in her little interview, that she wants to like be the mother and like keep. She thinks she admitted that she saw him around Ponderosa while they're waiting, and she's like, I want to provide for the kids. I know I'm older. I know I'm married. I know I have this family that probably only her and like Roxroy have, since nobody else talked about their family. You know, so I think if she pushes that hard, we've seen older ladies older, even though she's not. In Survivor 2022, she's older. You know, they can get a long way, and I think that's another there's another type there that hasn't won Survivor in a long time. So I think, you know, niceties can get you somewhere, maybe.
I don't think that this is going to be the year that the moms finally get it back.
No, I don't think so either.
We've been seeing it for a long time
It's not
where people are more offended by the mother of
and
the
they
tribe
stab you in the back.
betraying you.
Or-
They like every season there's like a mom type sitting in the finals and they don't vote for that person because they're
Destroy
like,
that person.
you betrayed me and you were like my mom. Like he was a dick, but at least he was always a dick to me. But
Yeah.
you voted me out.
Gonna pop her dentures out.
Oh my god, that's just fucked up what they did to Dawn. But but you see that with like Julie from Edge of Extinction. You see that with like what's her Blood versus Water and Samoa.
Series mom? Not series.
No.
Sarah's mom?
Yeah, no. It starts with an Monica.
Monica.
Monica Culpepper. Yeah, Brad Culpepper's wife.
Yeah, Brad's wife. Oh my god.
But like, I think her being a mom, I think was the main thing, and like talking so much because you can be a mom and still win. You just can't. Being a mom can't be your whole thing,
Right.
And she seems like being a mom is her whole thing.
Right.
So she got as much
No,
shit
it
as
is.
being
her-
Brad's wife.
That's
there
her
too.
whole entire identity. That's
Yeah.
for sure. All right.
Well-
Last one.
This is it.
Fuck.
This is friggin' it, guys.
All right. I feel like I'm in a very awkward position.
Oh my god.
I don't want to throw it out there that my dead last person is still on, not drafted. So
Because
Mine was drafted.
mine was
I don't want. If we look at the tribes here, there's something very interesting about my tribe, and I have 3 guys, and I don't know that I want to get labeled a sexist for not.
No. can't pick
Well, oh my god.
I don't want
not
for
pick
not picking fucking what's her name?
Maria.
For
Maria.
not picking Maria, but I don't
She's
want to.
my dead last.
Yeah, she
She
is.
has no shot at winning this.
Built-
After Tori, she was my
She's
second to last.
Like she's the one who gave me the most mom vibes of them all and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
I thought
The way
she was
went.
worse than Jenny personally. At
Okay,
least Jenny
I
felt like she got a little more going for her.
Mhm.
I am going to pick with the last pick of the draft. I am going to pick. I'm going to pick Romeo.
Oh,
I
yikes!
I could not disagree with the yikes more. I'm actually shocked that he got this far. I didn't pick him. I had literally Hi, Zach, Romeo in like a little triangle, and I was like, I got to pick one of them because they all kind of fit the same mold of the nerdier, skinnier guys, but he comes from a big house, big family living in a small house. I think that takes a lot of patience. Daniel, you got a lot of brothers and sisters. Can you relate to needing a lot of patience when there's a lot of people around?
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be good.
I had a lot. He also literally says he's impatient.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But also, he's also a pageant. He's also a pageant coach, though. So I think that the skills and like muscle groups that you need for pageants, I think, are the types of skills that Survivor rewards. We saw someone like Ricard last season, who was a dancer, do very well in that. Also being, and I know we're going back to the impatient thing, but being a beauty pageant coach, like, you got to put up with a lot of like stage moms. They made a whole show about how much stage moms are terrible. So like, he's got to have some angle there. He is on, I can't believe I'm saying this, he's 37. He's not on the older side, but he's on the older side for like the cast. Most of them aim around that like 28 to 32 range, and then we got the Swathies and the like Mikes way on the other ends of the spectrum. But I think 37, and he doesn't look like, he still looks great. And I think being in that perfect middle ground where I think he's going to be able to connect with whoever is on the tribe, because there's not so much age difference. Now, when I say that, I think he's also probably on the tribe that's going to go to the most tribal councils, just based on when I looked at the tribe breakdowns.
Oh boy.
So
he was deathly scared of the entire thing. In the one interview I watched, he said he was scared.
I didn't even see that.
He said he was, yeah, he said in the one, he goes, what's like the one thing you don't want him to know about you? And he's like, well, I'm extremely scared of all of this. And I'm like, well,
I think though, getting out there and having a realistic expectation,
playing scared isn't the worst thing. Like if you're too confident or whatever, I think that could probably be worse than being paranoid. Paranoid gets you far in this game.
Why did I pick Jackson or Jonathan?
Shocking.
And I looked at Romeo for a while, and it's a very good story. And that's what I really liked about it. What I really don't like about his profile is not a lot of outdoorsy stuff. Like, it mentioned traveling, but everything else is so finely tuned to just like a person who travels to, see cities and cultures and peoples much more than the outdoorsy rough and tumble. Like,
outside of the first week, that's the only time that outdoorsy experience will get you anywhere. By the time you're a week in, you get it.
I agree.
Yeah. I think, again, though, with the smaller tribes,
but you have to get through that first fucking week.
Yeah, you have to get through a week without eating properly. Like
3 evictions by that time, right?
Yeah,
because they go evictions every 2 days now.
But I was so close with going with the short king.
I do want to throw it out there. I'm not surprised at the two that the audience gets, because
first of all, Maria, any thoughts about her before we'll just go over the two we did not pick quickly? Any thoughts on her?
Won't be the first boot. Might make it to merge.
She'll be
zero chance of winning.
She won't make merge.
Yeah.
I think second or third out, definitely not first. She does seem to have a bit of a bulletproof vest on.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of these older women have been getting dragged further and further along. You look at like Natalie Cole from David versus Goliath, Heather from last season.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if
they were dragging Heather because she was a crazy, and they all knew they could beat her.
Man, you listen to some postseason interviews. Apparently, Heather was the favorite.
I think they're throwing you off the scent. I think they're all better.
But she I think there's a chance that she could make merge, but I think there's a very good chance she is the first member of the jury.
Yeah, sure. Yep. Yeah, no, like, yeah, I don't see her going first, but just that character type can't win. I don't think it can ever win.
And then our last person that we didn't pick was Jackson Fox.
He will be out if
He's
he's
the
first one.
Yeah. I just see him too big. Just that. Just the type of guy that just won't win. He's big but won't win challenges.
what he needs to do is just like spread a bunch of thumbtacks across the beach and then patch up everybody's wounds when they step on. He's a healthcare worker.
That's what they call.
How's he smuggling him there? Oh my God.
I think.
Yeah, it's terrible.
I gotta say,
that's not the thing.
I actually did like Jackson, and I thought about taking him earlier. I don't think he's gonna win, but when he said he likes Elaine, I thought that from Island of the Idols, I thought that was a good pull for like the kind of energy he's gonna give, and then also just talking about how he's got kind of similar to the Roxroy thing. I think he's got the right body type to last in Survivor. So I think if he can get into the merge, I think he's the kind of unassuming guy. His age may be a factor at 48, but he is the kind of guy who is, I think.
I forgot. I'm only 22.
Oh my God. But yeah, that is, pull it up quickly. Those are our tribes as we look. Look, I have Omar, Hi, Jackson, and Romeo. Fucking Christ. Dustin has Mary Ann, Lindsay, Zach, and Jenny.
I like that tribe too.
Snarks got Chanel, Roxroy, Lydia, and Daniel Strunk. Daniel, not Strunk, has Drea,
is drunk.
Mike,
is drunk.
Tori, and Swati. And then the audience has Jackson and Maria.
Good luck to them.
I actually don't hate.
Watch them be like two of the final three.
Yeah, it's gonna fucking.
And we're all just gonna be sitting here like, oh God.
The worst.
So, I don't know if you guys want to move on or if you want to see the tribe breakdown. That is up to you guys.
I'm good to look at it.
Okay.
Do it quick.
Let's see it real quick here.
All right. So the first is Vati Tribe, which is Chanel, Jenny, Lydia, Daniel, Hi, and Mike. I think this is a pretty well-rounded tribe in terms of like physical and mental strength.
Well, I fucking hope so.
My
35% of my tribes or my picks are on this tribe.
My concern is that they do have Mike and Jenny, who are two of the older people on the season. But then then Daniel, they don't have like the big muscular guy if Mike isn't going to be that.
Right.
The Taku tribe, which I think is probably I think this is going to be the tribe that's the most safe.
The Taco tribe?
Kind of. Is Jackson, Jonathan, Omar, Marianne, and Maria. Oh, did I miss someone? And I missed Lindsay.
That's a good tribe.
This is, I think, the tribe that very well could go into the merge with all 6 people intact. And seeing this made me feel a lot better for Jonathan. Because I think between him and I think this is also a tribe that I actually feel a lot better for Jackson now too. I think he could very much be the dad of this tribe. And dads do a lot better on Survivor than moms.
True.
And Ika.
Boy.
This is the tribe that I think is going to lose every challenge. You got Drea, Swati, Tori, Romeo, and Zach. And Roxroy, sorry. I think Romeo and Zach are two of the smaller guys. Swati also is smaller, even though she's very fit. Drea, I think, is the Drea and Roxroy, I think, are your physical anchors here.
Well, isn't the females on it are actually pretty strong.
Mm-hmm. I just think
when it comes to physical.
I think Romeo, it's going to come down to Romeo or Zach when this tribe loses, and you can't have two of the same type of player.
Roxroy is too big to get rid of.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, those are the tribe breakdowns. So now that we know, and tomorrow Survivor begins.
That's dope.
Yeah. Bum, bum.
Daniel, will you be watching?
I'm not sure, actually. I need to go find out where to watch it. I will definitely watch this first one and see what's up.
Survivor's back. Do we want to do we're running, this is our longest episode ever. Do you want to do like a quick what have we been watching?
I mean, more of just like a casual one, just to see like, are we keeping up with the stuff we were talking about the last few weeks? If we want to cut to you guys first, what have our guests been watching? Everyone knows what we've been up to.
Dustin, I'll let you go first, just in case. I know you're on a hotel Wi-Fi, so if you don't want to stick around for this whole time, you don't have to.
I'll go quick. I know you guys are a TV show crew here. I'm not the biggest TV watcher, so I'm not the number one person to have on this show unless you're talking Survivor. Unfortunately. I mean, I don't know, what have you guys been talking about? I know I finished the first half of Ozark. That's about as good as I got. Other than that, I can talk to you that I watched Spencer and Nightmare Alley and a whole bunch of movies in the last couple of days. But WWE NXT is on right now. We got Braun Breaker and Dolph Ziggler and Ciampa going for the championship. So again,
I am gonna
watching is pro wrestling.
I am gonna need to ask you about that at some point, because one of my brothers texted me just a couple hours ago saying that Kevin Owens is gonna fight Stone Cold. What? Maybe
it's gonna be more of a fight than a wrestling match.
Yes, it's not. Yeah, Stone Cold definitely cannot get in the ring the way he used to.
They were talking that he might, and everybody was like, "Please no! It's been 17 years since you've done it."
Shit!
Wow.
How many times does Daniel Bryant have to almost die for people to?
Yeah, that'll age you all, guys. No, I am gonna jump off there though, boys, if that's okay. Again,
absolutely.
Thanks for having me. Hopefully, I'm thinking we should do like a mid-Survivor season. Invite me on if you're gonna do a quick summary of the.
We'll do a catch-up episode.
Yeah,
so I can gloat all four of my guys, probably running the entire show.
As long as Dan aren't winning the whole show, I'm gonna be okay with it, because that'll just drive me nuts. So, hey, boys, again, catch me on this network, Squared Slice, 7 Central every Wednesday night. Me and Soto will be talking all things wrestling tomorrow night. So, and Snark was on. We talked AWA. We're gonna talk AWA even more. It's gonna be awesome. We're going to bring AWA historian on sometime soon, and we'll bring Snark on, and we'll chit-chat all about it.
That'll be awesome.
Thank you, boys, for having me. I'll be on again, and go Survivor.
Go Survivor.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Dustin.
Thanks, boys.
Bye.
What about you, Dave?
Okay.
You watching anything interesting?
So the final season of Attack on Titan finally got dubbed into English. So
nice.
Instead of watching that, I'm rewatching all of Attack on Titan.
Okay.
I generally do that with a lot of final seasons.
So I'm doing that before I start that. But the unfortunate thing is, Big Brother Canada also started this week, and that, Daniel, is 3 episodes a week.
Yeah.
And live feeds.
There's some
really? What is that? Schmodown?
Yeah. For me, the good thing is I never watch it live. I always tape it.
Yeah.
Fast forward through the bits. Like if it gets to the competitions, there's gonna be a break before anything happens. So just fast forward till after the break and then you can see what happens.
It's been
there's ways to cut down the time.
Oh, for sure. It's been a pretty interesting season so far.
Big Brother Canada is better than American Big Brother.
Oh, for sure. For sure. We have a better host. The cast is usually better. It's a solid show. And Daniel, fun little anecdote about one of the players on this season. So last year they released the cast for Big Brother Canada, and when like 3 days before they were supposed to go into the house, and within minutes, one of the people had been kicked off the cast because Twitter dug up the like a video of them hitting their girlfriend on the street.
What?
So like,
Jesus.
So it's like, get this guy off. So they brought in this guy, Kyle Moore, before the show started. But they just released like a grainy picture of him. And so Twitter was like, all right, Kyle Moore, let's find him. So they found this guy, 22 years old. He's got a mental health podcast. Seems like a really chill guy.
Oh, that guy?
Yeah. And they're like, wow, we found him. And then it turned out he was like, hey, I don't even know what Big Brother is. I am not on this show. It was a different Kyle Moore. And now the Kyle Moore that Twitter found last year is on this season.
Oh my God.
I never did. I didn't know that story.
I knew
the story about the guy getting kicked off just before everything came on.
Yeah, no. Kyle from last season was an alternate, and people found the Kyle from this season, and it's like they're both white guys with longish brown hair. And it's like, that's Kyle Moore. It's like, he's like, I don't even know what Big Brother is, but then like really got involved with the community over the last year. And the show was like, hey, do you want to come on? And he's like, I would love to come on. Nice. And now he's on. He did not.
I didn't mind him either.
A year ago, he had no idea what Big Brother was. And now he's on the show.
Yeah, that's
because I like the entire cast. Like the one that's gone or whatever is the one I couldn't care for the most. But I like so far I've liked the cast.
But we never even saw her, right? Like she was
a couple of French speakers on there, so you know,
a lot of French speakers. Yeah. Most French speakers we've ever had on the season.
Yeah,
and do they like legitimately speak French? Like
yeah.
One of them, there's a guy Marnie on this season who like
Acadian from New Brunswick.
Yeah, he's an Acadian. And he very much the thickest French accent and always talks about like how English is his second language. So he's like, I want to be close to the French speakers in this house because I feel closer to them.
Yeah. Yeah, like more hardcore accent than Louis for sure.
For sure.
Well, yes, but I was specifically wondering for the Canada one, do they actually like? Again, you're being filmed all the time, so you're definitely gonna slip into it sometimes.
Oh yeah,
but
it's Franglish for sure.
Oh, for sure. But yeah, that's mostly what I've been watching.
Yeah, I got to over the last few days, I just piled on shows for some reason. So, caught up on Bel Air today. It's really starting to take kind of a soap opera-y turn. It's not what I was hoping. I would hope for more episodes, and it doesn't. Not everything has to end on a pregnant pause and stuff like that, cliffhanger thing. Yeah, so we'll see how that goes going forward. Got to see the first episode of Winning Time, and it is fucking awesome. I can't wait. This is the story about the Showtime Lakers in the early '80s and stuff like that. The first episode was about Jerry Buss and his drive to buy the team and draft Magic Johnson. Caught up on. I watched every single one of the new The Boys cartoon.
Oh, I still gotta watch that.
I actually just saw like the first one.
Yeah,
and that one's like it's reminiscent of Looney Tunes. And
the baby with the laser eyes. Yes.
No, I just mean like that one, yes. But like the silent, like the not a lot of voice at all. A lot of the worst part is I was watching this episode as I was dozing off, and I had to stop trying to fall asleep because none of the episode happens in dialogue. It all happens on the screen. And how about Our Flag Means Death?
Great. I really liked it. Watched the first the first 3 episodes or 4
The
episodes?
first 3 episodes dropped on HBO
And
Max or Crave.
Really
Okay.
looking forward to the next one. Now that things have been set up and stuff like that. What did you think of the Adventures of Steed? There, I loved that first episode.
I was actually not sure after the first one. Like,
Mhm.
I liked most of it, and then the episode finished, and I was just like, I'm not sure about that. Like, I didn't not like it, but there was nothing that really hit. And
That
then it was
final scene for me. That final scene is like, oh, okay, let's go.
for me it was the 3rd episode. And it's like, yeah, once you start getting into the actual story, we meet Blackbeard, like we meet some actual pirates. I've recognized way too many names in this series. And yeah, once it started building, like I was going to mention, like, yep, really impressed that they did the 3 episode drop. They knew what they were doing to hook everybody.
What else do you see? You've caught up with Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Again, another 2 episodes dropped. Really great 5th episode. The 6th episode was good as well. I just preferred that 5th one. It'll be interesting to see where it goes. In the last 4 episodes of the season. I think it's on 2 more weeks or whatever.
I think they're 10 sets.
Yeah. So yeah, there's quite a bit of room for it to go, but it's kind of fallen back onto something again. With her working for what's her name again? But what else? I've now caught up on the current season of Last Week Tonight, a show that is just so much better with a live audience. I watched it in the big white void or whatever they had. It just doesn't compare. He's the kind of guy that you just need to bounce off. There was not all of them are the same. Like Seth Meyers was fine without a studio audience. I actually quite like it. Maybe liked it more without a studio audience.
That's how I felt about Trevor Noah.
Yeah.
And so, I actually really liked the first few episodes of John Oliver in the White Void. And especially like because you can kind of see it in his acting of just like, I don't know if I'm ever leaving my house again. and then like there's the couple of episodes where he does on his completely empty set. Like, he's on set because he was there in town, but they literally evacuated pretty much everyone non-essential. And it's like him, a camera guy, and the bare Last Week Tonight set.
Yeah. What have you
pretty much a lot of those things. I still haven't picked up my Stack TV subscription to go watch Bel Air, but after that last review, I'm maybe gonna wait until next week and see how if we're moving to like further towards that track or moving away from it.
Yeah,
and
I'm a little worried that that's the way it's gonna go. It just doesn't need it. So, but this is the first season and they had it all written and stuff like that. So hopefully they'll be saying, okay, guys, just 2 episodes. You don't have to have. Oh my God, Grace back.
Sure,
Grace back.
Grace came back. She just came back.
Yeah.
She agreed with my last point, I guess.
Yeah, you're right.
And yeah, like I haven't been watching too many things other than like what we were talking about, Mrs. Maisel, The Boys. I am starting to look into.
Why are all these people coming back?
I can't remember who. Oh man, there was an HBO show that I just saw like a preview for that sounded very interesting, and I wish I could remember it, but I'm gonna attempt to figure that out at some point, and I guess I will come back next week And yes,
Very good.
since we are being invaded by the Survivor contestants here,
One last thing before we
very
end.
slowly.
Okay,
Yes.
go ahead.
Sorry, this is why I'm not on camera. I talk too much. If you ever want to feel really mentally healthy about yourself and about how good of a person you are, I really suggest that everyone watch the latest season of Love is Blind on Netflix.
Okay.
Oh my God. Every person on that, you're like, wow, if you ever thought, man, I don't know that I have my life together or that I'm like an emotionally healthy person, go watch Love is Blind and you will, if you are ever like, I've never been in a healthy relationship before, you're like, oh no, I have. These people are terrible. It's great. It's so good. And it's just trash and I love it.
All right.
Nice.
I'm going to dig into that this week then.
And yes, speaking of reality, there was two very quick things. I mentioned one in our group chat, but there was another one right before I signed in to StreamYards. There's one of the networks is coming out with a Survivor style series, but it's going to be all celebrities.
I saw a commercial for that today.
Daniel, that's crazy. You know why that's so crazy? You know who the producer of that show is?
ABC. Yeah.
It's Jeff, the host of Survivor, is producing that show.
Is this one going to be based more on the Brendan one, I'm a celebrity, get me out of here?
I think so. But also, Daniel,
I saw one of the contestants.
Here's another thing. So one of the contestants is Meta World Peace. Okay? Daniel, do you know why that's interesting?
No.
He was on Celebrity Big Brother. Yeah. And he tried to quit, essentially being in a resort for 1 month. How's he going to be on an island?
Can't get away. He has to do it.
He literally tried to climb the walls and escape in the house.
Well, he isn't going to be the biggest, meanest person there. That's for sure. He may be the tallest, but not the biggest, and certainly not the fucking meanest.
And yes,
who literally killed somebody.
Yeah. The final thing I'd like to leave all of you on with for at least until next week, because I literally know nothing other than the premise of this show. Is that NBC's next reality show is going to be a bachelor style dating show. But bit of a twist. We're going to the 1800s. We're going to a castle in the English countryside, coincidentally the one they shot Bridgerton at, and they are going to do old-fashioned courtship. The show is called The Courtship. Everybody will arrive in carriages rather than limos. Instead of handing out roses, they hand out something else that I cannot quite remember what it was. But yes, everything is weird and old-timey.
I don't like this.
No one's brushing their teeth.
Yes, I believe the conceit of the show is like, well, nowadays dating is very, app focused. It's very like, it's very different from how it was back then. And since they are just, The Bachelor is essentially an older form of dating that like already, because there's no app for The Bachelor.
That show sounds like my living fucking nightmare.
I'll stick to Love is Blind.
Again, it's going to be awful. I will absolutely watch the first episode of this show just to see how many people think they can pull off accents.
You know what? You sold me.
Yeah, like the people who try to speak in the period tongue. That's what I'm going for.
That's pretty great. Man.
All right. And yes, on that insane note, let's start with producer Dave. Where can the people find you?
You can find me right here at Group in the North. Follow us on Twitter at Group in the North. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Northern Entertainment Group. We have lots of shows coming out almost every day. Schmodown's starting up. Who knows? Maybe we'll have a Schmodown show at some point. We got a lot of other great shows, from the Squared Slice to this show to I'm blanking on anything. If you liked my
Is the Doctor Who show,
the greatest show in the universe, I love with 50, always a great watch. And if you liked my Rankings of the North Batman episode coming up in April to it's a little bit of ways, but I'm going to start promoting it now. In honor of the new Fantastic Beasts movie, I'm going to be doing that with the Harry Potter movies.
ooh,
Oh, damn.
So look out for that.
mhm.
I'm gonna have to figure out when you schedule that show because I have takes.
Wow.
All right. Snark.
Yeah, I mean that's not the Hogwarts castle behind me.
Oh my gosh.
No, it's too small.
Where can you find Rob the Snark? You can find him right
It's only
here.
half of it.
Oh my god. Every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, watching and talking about television shows with all these jerks. You can find me at Snark Yeti on Twitter, where you can find out my fascinating score and Wordle of the day, or liking other people's stuff. Really, that's about it. You can find me complaining about a certain hockey team that I enjoy. I will be doing that within moments of the show ending. And let's see, I'm not sure what else is coming up. There's a possibility of me coming to more shows later on. We'll see. And really, that's about it for me. How about you, Danny?
Pretty much the same. You can find me on, I mean, definitely on this show, but potentially on any show across the Northern Entertainment Group, and possibly, you know, there's a little bit of a space around, and whenever one of our friends asks me for my opinions, I definitely want to get on camera and talk about them. So yeah, and you can find me. I generally promote whatever I'm doing over on my Twitter at Corrupted Canuck. I am not incredibly active, so a follow there is pretty much just going to tell you if I'm on a show. But that pretty much does it for me, and everybody else is good. So I just, for myself, for Rob, for Dave, for Dustin, who left us, and for the rest of the Northern Entertainment Group, everybody have a great night, and we'll see you next week.